Hey, are you thinking about coming to USA Truck? Tips on how to make some money here? Stick around, I got you. Hey, we're going to talk about some tips on how to make some money here at USA Truck. Influx of people saying you can't make any money here, people talking trash about it, this, that, and the other. It's just their situation, it might not have worked for them, but I'm doing pretty good here, and it feeds my family. And if you're thinking about bringing your truck here, well, let's talk about 5 tips that's going to get you in the driver's seat on the fast lane, making some money here. Number 5 is one of the most important things that can, it's not the most important, but it is pretty daggum important. You need to know the freight lanes, okay? There are places to put your truck, and there are places to not put your truck. We got tons of freight in Ohio, we got tons of freight in Arkansas, we got freight in Indiana, a ton of it in northern Texas. Better put that on vibrate there. Okay, there, you know, Kansas City and just Missouri, Kansas, those areas, super hot. Tons of good paying freight coming out of there. Stuff that just works. I know if I go to anywhere in the Kansas City area, I can always get a load coming out of Spring Hill, Kansas. It's going to be a little heavy because it's cat litter, but I know I can always get a load coming out of there going back east or down to the south. I've been where freight's really hard to come by. Florida, I did it again. I'm down here again. If you come down to Florida and you get here on a Thursday or a Friday, if you don't deadhead all the way out to Statesboro or Atlanta or Savannah, you're going to sit till Monday. I needed a reset anyway, so it didn't hurt me. Till something pops and comes out of Jacksonville, and it's probably going to go up to Kingsford, Tennessee. More than. So yeah, or I took a load last summer going to Portland, Oregon. Well, I ate my whole clock. I needed a reset, and then after my reset, I had to go down to SoCal to get a load. Because if I went up to Washington, there was nothing coming back east. It was just all running around up in Washington. So, yeah, I kind of ate a bullet on that one. So, learn your freight lanes. I was still young here at this company when I did that. I only been here for a couple months when I went out there. So, shame on me. I didn't know any better. Alright, next. Learn when to run your short hauls and when to run your long hauls. Personally, for me, what I have found that works the best is I run my short hauls like 500 or less, which are usually the ones that are paying more. I can usually get them up to about 3.5 a mile. Monday through Thursday, I try to run just short hauls. Try to run something longer over the weekend because the weekend freight's a little bit slower. Depending on where you're at, that's not always the case, but general rule for me, weekends are kind of slow. I try to find something that delivers on a Friday, turn around, pick up again Friday night, Saturday, deliver Sunday or Monday. Or running over a holiday. Get a long haul that's going to cover the length of that holiday when everybody's closed. Or you're going to be stuck in Philadelphia and your load to Albuquerque is going to cancel. Because it's just the way it is. Alright? Just know when to run your long hauls, when to run your short hauls, on top of where to run your lanes. So that way you put your truck in a good place to find freight. So you can run your long hauls and your short hauls. Starting to sink in up there? It's laying down some knowledge on you. Come on. Let's go to the next one. Number 3. Don't be booking the cheap freight. There are times to run that cheaper load to get you home because you got a family emergency. That's what that stuff's there for. But don't think you're going to turn a profit by booking that load out of Jacksonville that goes to Mariloma, California for $1 a mile and then get your percentage and you get 65 cents of the load. You're not going to turn a profit that way. You're not going to make any money booking and running cheap stuff like that. There's plenty of good paying freight on this board to be able to find good paying stuff and average at least $2 a mile. All this last week, I didn't even run that hard, but I averaged a $3.25 on all miles, loaded and empty. That's including my deadhead. So come on, guys. There's money here. You just got to know when to find it. I'm looking at the same board you guys are. So it can be done. It just takes time. You got to learn these things. You got to learn where to look. All right, number 2. always be looking at the board, and if you can, book freight out ahead of time, so that way you've got guaranteed money. Okay? You gotta constantly, like, if you stop, look at the load board. When you lay down before bed, look at the load board. When you wake up in the morning and you're drinking your coffee to wake up and put your clothes on, look at the load board. You gotta hustle. Hustle, 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 okay? And to eliminate and to get away from some of that, so you're not always on that board dedicating all your free time to it, because we all know that sucks and nobody likes to spend that much time on a freaking load board. Book your loads ahead. You can plan up to 5 loads in advance now. I know people who's making tons of money and they're pre-planning everything and they know exactly what they're doing for the whole week. Usually that's what I like to do coming out of the house if I'm going into good markets. Florida area where I'm at now, there's not really much booking ahead. You just got to be on there looking and waiting for something to pop, and then boom, get out of Dodge. But look at the load board, watch it, learn where the freight goes, learn your lanes, learn when to run the long hauls and the short hauls, and watch the board and plan ahead. This will save you so much time, headache, and will shorten the learning curve. The more you study, the easier it's going to be down the line. This ain't something you can just walk in the door and just make all kinds of hookahs, boodles of money. It just don't happen that way. There's the learning curve, so you have to study and put your time in. Okay, and now this leads me to what is the most important one on this list. That's going to keep you profitable, keep your truck moving, keep you in the market to keep moving, and keep you from going bankrupt and your old lady leaving you because you're a moron. Nobody wants that, okay? We want to keep our old ladies happy and wearing diamond jewelry. That's how it goes. Or if they're like mine, they want a bunch of anime posters. So, knowing your costs. I'm going to break my costs down here so you guys can, if you're coming here, you can kind of get a rough idea of what you're looking at. These are the fixed costs. It's not talking about the variable costs such as fuel or things of that nature. But you have your deductible buyback, which is what lowers your deductible on your insurance. It's $7.16 a week. The tractor, or the maintenance, $200 a week. Tractor payment, $550. Bobtail insurance, $577. Owner-operator occupational accident insurance, $24.77. My accounting firm, ATBS, $21.99 a week. Owner-operator physical damage insurance, $60.48. The com data card fee, $22.60. Your numbers. You have to know what your fixed costs are so you can know how much freight you need to book for the week and what your bare minimum is to turn a profit and stay profitable. Bare minimum for me every week that I try to turn in gross revenue before my percentage is my goal is to gross $5,000 gross revenue a week. My bare minimum I need to survive every week is to gross $3,000 total gross revenue in a week before my percentage is taken out. At $3,000 of gross revenue a week, that's 1, maybe 2 loads a week, I can afford to pay all of my bills at home and feed my family because my cost of living is so cheap. I know what my numbers are. So if I have, leaving the house on my short weeks or coming home, I know I need to make X amount of dollars before Dad can come home to see the kids. Okay? Numbers to turn a profit. There are people who make way more than I do. They also work way harder than I do. I'm home every other week or every weekend. It all depends. Depends on how much money Mama needs that week. It is what it is. So, if you're going to stay profitable, you got to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you can't turn a profit. Okay? And then you also have your variable expenses, which would be fuel and additives and other stuff that, you know, the price varies because that's just the way it is. Like I said, if you know your numbers, you can turn a profit. That's the most important thing here, because if you know what your numbers are, you know what rate per mile you need to book, You know how much you got to run and how much time you can stay at home. We're going to toss one more in here that's a bonus, okay? Shop for your fuel. There's an app called Fuel Book. A lot of us use it, okay? Punch in your route. It gives you all the cheapest fuel along the way, your top 10 or your whole, or you can look at the whole list, or you can do less than IFTA and you can see it without the fuel tax. Shop for your fuel, guys. That's one of the things with the price of fuel going up. It's going to be really hard to turn a profit as the fuel prices rise if our freight rates don't go up. But you can offset that fuel price by shopping for your fuel. You can't run like a company guy anymore and just punch your card in and fuel wherever. You got to make sure you're buying cheap fuel. And as well as that, you need to be fueling for the load. Okay? If you're getting 7 miles to the gallon, or yeah, 7 mpgs, okay, and you got a 700-mile load, you only need 100 gallons, okay? You calculate it off your quarter fuel gauge so you don't run empty. That quarter of a tank of fuel is your emergency reserve. As far as you're concerned, quarter of a tank means you're out of fuel, okay? So make sure, let's recap this list here. Number 5, learn the lanes. Number 4, learn when to run short and long hauls. Number 3, don't book cheap freight. Number 2, always be looking on that board and plan ahead. Number 1, there's 5 of them. Number 1, know your freaking numbers, guys. And the bonus, shop for fuel, man. These fuel prices are stupid right now, so just pay attention to that, okay? Watch your idle time, watch your speed, watch your fuel prices, okay? That's it. We're gonna wrap it up there. Drop a comment down below, tell me what you think, or if you got anything to add to this list, or if you hate USA Truck. I get a lot of those too. I get a lot of hate mail. That's fine. They don't pay me to do these videos. This is where I'm at. I like it here, and I'm doing really well. So, drop a like, drop a comment, give me a thumbs down, thumbs up, whatever you want to do. It's y'all's right. Or tell me I'm a moron. I'll take that too. So, until then, y'all have a good one. I love you, and we're out.